What are we going to eat? This is a very common question for those who are able to eat most days. Many homes across the US suffer from the inability to feed themselves on a regular basis. According to the studies done by the USDA in 2018, 54 million people food insecure and 23.5 million live in food deserts. Why should you care? One might say. With the steady decline in the farmers across the nation, the accessibility to food will become increasingly problematic. One wants to go to the supermarket and grab and go. This is a problem that can affect everyone in the US. Nothing is done to subside lack of interested candidates into the field. This is the topic I'm very passionate about and believe that my experience and knowledge of almost 7 years can bring a lot to the table with this issue. Within my speech, I will go over four main points: inflammation, profits, self sustainability, and the wonders of creating something out of nothing. To kick things off, inflation. What a horrendous event this is. Not only does it affect the prices of much needed items, inflation causes a strain on the quantity of items available. This can range from high gas prices to everyday household needs. So far, inflation has caused a widespread of increased prices of produce along with meats. Secondly, we have profits. There are many farms and all serve a purpose to produce food, locals, for the nation as a whole, even just for themselves. There's a multitude of farms that do all types of things, from growing tobacco all the way up to banana plants. When it comes to dependency, it boils down to who controls your food. With knowledge of how you to market your products and establish a customer base, an individual can charge however much he or she pleases without needing to rely on anyone else to provide them with a thing. Thirdly, we have self sustainability. Not only is it better for the environment, self sustainability allows an individual to always have a healthy food choice in their lives. Unlike food deserts, where the impoverished can hardly afford a singular, cheap, fast, and unhealthy meal, let alone a healthy alternative for which is upcharged, turning struggling households altogether. Lastly, the wonders of creating something out of nothing. This is a phrase I used a lot when sharing my story to entrance individuals to share the same glowing smile I had when I first got a taste of agriculture. When I finally became comfortable around the 43 beehives we have today, Sankofa, I cracked open the deep and peered inside to find nothing. Disappointment washed over my body, thinking that this is all for naught. Around 2 weeks later, the same hive that had maybe less than 8,000 bees quadrupled in the number of bees, roughly 30,000, with every single frame either covered in honey, brood, or bee bread. And that was when I fell in love. In farming, there's a moment for everybody where you realize the beauty that comes with hard work, yes. But to see a once barren land become so tantalizing, to see all the work that has created a land so voluminous and colorful, can only be explained by magic. Words are too restricting to serve a jest. After reviewing these 4 points, steady decline throughout the field of farming, according to the USDA, in the most recent survey, there were 2.01 million US farms 2021, down from the previous 2.2 million 2007. A way that may not be new or innovative to alleviate the decline and to just be to introduce more people into the field and destigmatize such a wondrous job. Throughout my years meeting hundreds of people, hearing different stories from them all, the people who are most likely to completely stay away from farming or say something negative would tend to be uneducated African American children or even the adults, taking the dark history of America as a key reason for why they would not be seen dead on a farm, for which they like to say picking cotton tends to be the trend. Such stigmas created from the pain of African Americans can be a hard nut to crack. having individuals say no to a whole career, sadly, to the harsh reality their ancestors were slaves, whilst also not understanding the detrimental effect that farming has on society as a whole. In conclusion, farming is a very much needed field, a field to which has been strained for a long time, and the unwillingness and or ignorance that follows such a trade is the main cause for its downfall. The first step to a better place starts with oneself, and for your community, allow itself to grow off one another. Deciding that you don't want to be controlled by the conveniently placed fast food restaurants slowly sucking your life away. Not being controlled by how expensive healthy food costs, limiting you to an unhealthy lifestyle. Not being controlled by inflation, wondering if that carton of eggs will stay affordable. And lastly, not being controlled and influenced where you can, letting yourself never experience the magical sensation of achievement. For a wise person once said to me, stick with me, I'm gonna take you to the top. That's a phrase that I've stuck by. I have not seen it fail me yet. For all the information provided throughout the speech, I collected it from the USDA Agricultural Studies, along with my mentor, Marbell, and myself as being an expert in this field. About it.